Well, Boogie, most definitely I want to, nice seeing you, like that smile on your face.
Nice to meet you.
What is Medicine's affiliations with Megablast RPM Management?
Well, actually, it's everyone says medicine, but it's actually pronounced medicine. My affiliation is, besides being a producer, I also work with Megablast. I help out with promotions, management. If he can't make it to certain rehearsals, things like that, I chip in. Part-time driver on some of these tours, doorman, equipment carrier. I do a little bit of everything. But I also have my own company, which is a production company, Medisign Productions, and I've worked with all the Megablast artists. You know, you got to keep it in family first. So I've worked with all of them, and just recently with the Winter Music Conference, I've seen my own personal success because the songs that are there, the singles that were released were actually my singles. You know, all the artists have, you know, won numerous awards. Again, VirginiaReggaeAwards.com. Please vote for the United Souls. You know, they won numerous awards, and this time I was able to have, you know, their first single. So it's definitely an accomplishment for myself. The same with Raphael. I had some singles with Chase when he was active, so I can't wait for him to come back so we can get back to work. And just really trying to make a name for myself.
You also have some singles with Official as well.
Oh yeah, Official. I mean, I worked with everybody. I'm Official, Denati Empress,
yeah.
Raw Element, as well as La Raphael. I have numerous records with them. I'm actually working on my own producer-based EP, which will be sort of my album, but I'm reaching out to a lot of the other artists that I work with who aren't necessarily like signed to me. Like, I don't have any signed artists or anything, but there's a lot of artists that I really respect, I should say, and I'm gonna give them a chance. If everything goes well, we'll collaborate, and I'll have my own EP so that they get a chance as well. And it helps me because it's easier to find artists if you give them free music. You know what I mean? So it's coming together really nice, and hopefully that will be distributed the same way through Megablast that the other artists are being distributed. So we're just gonna keep on going. As soon as you think we're going, and somebody else is dropping something else.
Now, do you prefer that I call you Boogie?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Another question I want to ask you is this. I noticed that you said that you have written music for all the groups and several diverse, different genres of music. Is there a particular genre that you feel is more so you, or do you just ride the gambit because that's your passion?
Oh yeah, I try everything. Actually right now I'm also a producer for the Newport News public school system. They have a fitness show called Fusion Fitness, and I produce the music for the show, which is like really fast, upbeat fitness music. But then I turn around and make a hardcore record for Official, or a reggae record for the United Souls, or a rock record for Raw Element, or a down south, what people may call trap music for my artist Dirty Harry. So I'm kind of all over the place, but that's where I find it fun. Sometimes you just get stuck in one mode, and you know it just becomes redundant, it gets boring. So I try to switch it up on a regular basis and just expand. I mean, I listen to everything, so I'm inspired by a lot of different musicians, a lot of different genres of music. So I just try to bring that out in my own productions.
And just to piggyback off of what he said and the question you asked earlier about diversity, I think that's now is a good time to really elaborate on that, because him as a producer, one of the things I like about him is, you know, he has the ability to adapt to the different forms of music, and he studies those musics and he's able to create. A lot of producers are like one, you know, they basically have one mindset. If they produce hip hop, they only want to produce hip hop. And to be a producer in the industry at this day and time, you have to be diverse, because, you know, you take somebody like a Neo. You know, Neo writes song for this person, writes song for that person. You know, Dr. Dre can produce for this person, or Rick Rubens, who's an old school producer, he produces music for, you know, Jay-Z. He does the Dixie Chicks. You know what I'm saying? He does what's the other rock group? Red Hot Chili Peppers. So he has that diversity, and that was the thing that I think with all the groups, one of the reasons that I gravitated to certain groups was because of their diversity. Like, for example, with United Souls. United Souls is basically a reggae band. They're one of the best performance bands out there. But United Souls, when you think about your traditional reggae, they have that. They have, you know, the drum and bass. They have the roots, the culture, the dance hall. But they also have a mixture of hip hop because they're roots. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop and funk and go-go. So they basically, it was a guy that I was speaking to in the UK, and he was talking about United Souls. United Souls is basically one of those groups that's creating their own genre. You know what I'm saying? Of music, which is actually good. So there's no category. It's sort of like the Black Eyed Peas. The Black Eyed Peas are a pop group and a hip hop group, but they have their own category. So nobody can place them in a box. Same thing with Roy Element. If you look at Roy Element as far as a rock group, they're a rock band, but their influence is funk, hip hop, and you hear that in the music. You know what I'm saying? And Naughty Empress, if you listen to her chant, she does a lot of, you know what I'm saying, culture conscious music, but she also has a hip hop base to it. You know what I'm saying? So all of the groups that we have are groups that have some type of diversity. And a lot of hip hop groups, you hear when you talk about down south music, they have a certain, way that they flow and a certain beat. With Official's music is very conscious. They're saying something to you. It's the streets. What they say in their music, those guys live it. You know what I'm saying? So it's real lyrics. But, you know what I'm saying, they can jump on a southern beat, or they can jump on, whatever it is, a dance beat, and they can rock it. So that's the thing that we look for in a company and from all the artists that Megablast RPM deals with. And that's what we want to keep on and take into the future.
Well, I like that. Now, I do want to ask each of you, and y'all can chime in however y'all want to flow with that. How do you guys feel about charting?
I think it's very important. I'm going to be honest. I want to elaborate on it. I think it's very important because, a lot of artists, especially on the local scene, they play a lot of these shows and they do a lot of, different events, festivals and things like that. You can go out on tour with a major band, but if you are not charting records, if you are not getting radio and you're not getting retail, you're not making it in the music business. That's what it's about. Record companies want groups. If everybody could go and get a record deal by just doing shows and doing clubs and everything, everybody would have a record deal. That's not what it's about. That's only part of the equation. You have to be able to first, chart a record, which means you have to you have to create a buzz, a strong enough buzz where major DJs want to play your record, put your record into rotation, whatever the situation. Then you have to go to radio. You have to go to radio and not just go to radio and basically have a record playing on Sunday nights. You have to get a radio consistently playing in rotation. That's what we're talking about. And if you do those things, you'll then get retail. If you digitally advertise and do those things, then you'll get retail because, people know who you are, that buzz is created. And that's what record companies are looking for. They want to know that when they call to that market and they ask who's the hottest hip-hop group, they want to hear your name come up. Or who's the hottest rock group or whatever. If you're not doing that, I don't care. You can play 100 shows. It does not matter.
I think for me, charting was the gift and the curse. And the reason I say the gift is because the first time it happened, I was just like super excited. But I also call it the curse because now I'm like, okay, well, what's next? So it's pushing me to work harder because, for lack of a better word, I'm chasing that high. You know what I mean? And as a producer, it's a little harder. And that's one of the reasons I'm coming out with my own EP, because as a producer, you really can't do but so much. It's really up to the artist. When a record comes out, they really don't care about the producer unless it's a hit record. It's about the artist, then the company, and then once it's a hit, then the producer. Okay,
now could you elaborate what EP is for those who don't know?
An EP is a short album, so to speak. Most records or LPs, long play albums, are 12 songs or more. Mm-hmm. An EP is about average of 8 or 9.
Okay.
So it's actually one of the things that a lot of companies are doing now because of everything being so digital. A lot of people just like 1 or 2 songs. So you save a little money and make a little money by only giving your fans 8 or 9 records. But you, of course, as an artist, you're going to record 24. So when that EP dies down, here comes another one. You know what I mean? But as a producer, I wanted to start with an EP because I also have other obligations. Like I said, the fitness show. I'm still working on Raphael, Raw Element, other artists that are coming, you know, that are not affiliated. So I just felt that it would be best for me to give a strong 8 songs than a mediocre 12, just for the sake of doing an album, you know. But for me, it's charting was good. It was great and felt good, and I want to stay there because as a producer, again, I really won't be noticed until it's a hit. Once it's a hit, then there's a good chance I could write my own ticket, you know, and now I could be working with the Neos and Beyoncés and, you know, other artists of that caliber, which is, of course, my dream one day. So
To me, the charts is a stepping stone as far as showing your hard work. Like Teddy spoke before, you can do all the clubs, you can open up for major artists, but that doesn't really have a bearing when you're trying to get into the industry. But I've been on the charts before with Raw Element. So to see your name on the charts with heavy hitters like Snoop and Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson, and then you see your name there. So it feels like you're accomplishing something, and then it's the stepping stone to the layout that Teddy has put out for everybody within the company. We have certain layouts that we have to follow, and if we follow these layouts, we have a long ways that we can take it. And a prime example is Official. Official has followed it to the T, and sky's the limit for them, and they can open up the doors for us as a company and as the Megablast RPM family. They can open up a lot of doors for everybody. So it's definitely a stepping stone for the company, the individual artist, Raw Element, and now myself as a solo artist.